So factor in your most common complaints with smartphones today. Your phone is either too big or slippery for regular size hands, or some companies ignore design efficiency with large bezels, or my least favorite, which is a beautiful phone marred by sluggish software. The LG G6 tries to be none of these things, and I've decided to spend a week to see if the company has succeeded. I'm Jaime Rivera with Pocketnow, and let's dive into our initial impressions. Final impressions are still pending, as all of our LG G6 units are still first-look prototypes, and that's actually what's most striking about using these devices, as none of them feel like unfinished products. To best describe this phone, we'd have to reminisce over how much we still talk about the old LG G2 even today. It was the first phone to bring a phablet experience into smartphone ergonomics, and the G6 embodies every bit of what made that legacy phone popular. One of my favorite things about using this phone for a week is the feel. The thick metallic trim on the sides provides a pleasant layer to hold. The glass back feels grippy, and the ice platinum finish hides fingerprints like a champ. But best of all, I'm really liking how LG addresses ergonomics, at least for the most part. Fitting a narrower panel on this body has made it easy to reach buttons across the display. And little things like allowing you to call on the notification shade with a navigation button continue to be genius. About the only thing I'd change is the other options, which are for a Q-slide button or for capture. A menu button would be far more convenient on a display this tall. Come on, LG, you know you can do this. And speaking of software, as unfinished as it is, this phone behaves just fine. The Snapdragon 821 underneath has handled a week of intensive use without a stutter. The smart cleaning feature does oddly claim this phone to be quite a RAM hog, but I don't seem to find it struggling anywhere. And as for the common lack of stock Android, I'm not really a fan of LG's UI from a design perspective, but it does pull some stock elements and it gets the job done. And the main reason I've decided to stick to a smaller UI on larger text, as much as I hate how small the icons become, is mainly because of the way the navigation buttons take up more space the larger the user interface becomes, which is unnecessary. And on that note, I wish LG would adjust 16:9 video to take up more space on the left and not hide the navigation buttons. You know, just to avoid these insane pillar boxes on the left and right. Now, not everything is feedback. Positive notes are definitely this always-on display, which I find to be one of the most useful. I also love how well this phone picks up on the Google Assistant. Just do us a favor, LG, and give us a quick way to access the Google feed, which I couldn't find any other way to activate but from a widget. I've been using the LG G6 as my daily driver between Barcelona, Rome, and New York City. So far, battery life has proven to be good, and it's always great to find wireless charging on board. Though, I noticed that this unit doesn't really support faster charging that we see from other competitors, even on these competitors' pads. And as for phone calls, the phone has behaved admirably, with callers claiming a lot of clarity on their end. Now, if you've been following me on Instagram, and if you're not, I would really appreciate if you did, you'll notice that I chose the LG G6 as my primary camera in my recent visit to the Vatican. And this is all the while carrying my Sony a6300. Why? Well, because as unfinished as this phone is, this camera just rocks. There is only so much you can show on a standard smartphone camera lens, so this wide-angle lens on the G6 proved to be perfect for the task. I love that LG has decided to crop the field of view to 120 degrees on the wide angle, leading to less barrel distortion. I will admit though, for the case of video, I did decide to use the V20 instead of the G6, mainly because the G6 video still seems to be a little grainy, especially in low light. And again, that makes sense because this is still a prototype. And that's what's most important to remember. This is not a final review. There is still more to test, and there is still more to compare once our final review unit arrives. What I can tell you today is that LG is really onto something here. This phone has sought out to solve specific needs in a very smart way. So much so that I'm kind of sold on it after my brief time with it. And while that final review unit arrives, make sure you follow us on social media and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this one. You can also follow me on Twitter, Jaime_Rivera, on Instagram at Jaime Rivera. Please give this video a thumbs up if you like what you saw. I am Jaime Rivera. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one.